What up, people? This is Blind John. It's 2014 garden update. I'm going to do a little harvesting today. Talk about my rain gutter grow system. So this year I decided to try something different. Found this guy online named Larry Hall up in Brandon, Minnesota. And he came up with this great growing system called the rain gutter grow system. He changed it over the years and elaborated it, made it better and better, and then I decided to build his system because, well, it gets real hot here in the summertime and it's really hard to be around to water all my plants. So this is a self-watering system. Basically, the way it works is you can hook your hose up and you plant your plants and you never have to water the whole summer. So as you can see, there's a whole bunch of stuff here, and I only spent about 5 minutes, probably a week, watering this stuff, so it's pretty sweet. So what we have here is the core of the rain gutter grow system. We have this valve right here, comes in, so there's a hose that comes in from the front yard, tees off to my other rain gutter grow systems, and then it comes into this float valve, and this basically regulates the water level in this 4-inch pipe, which I have about 40 plants hooked up to. And as the water goes down, it basically allows the float to go down and more water comes in. So it regulates the water perfectly all summer. So all these plants behind me are on the same system. They're all in these pipes that are level with the same level of water in them. And, oh man, each plant has this net cup that goes down into the pipe, and basically this is potting mix in here with peat moss in it, so it wicks the water up from the pipe up through this handy dandy what we call net cup, and it just self-regulates the water inside the potting mix, and the plants just use how much water they want. Works wonderful. So I'm going to stick that back down in there, and it's back in the system. Now, you see we got about 40 different pots on the same pipe system, so that's handy. So this is my second setup right here. This is the hybrid rain gutter grow system, and basically what it is an aquaponic pool. So I got some 2x4s and I just made this frame. It's about a 6x4 foot frame, and then I lined it with pond liner. So this is essentially just a little pond, and what you want to do is fill it up with about an inch of water, and then all these pots that you put in here, which I had more in here but they're out now, they each will suck the water up from the bottom of the pond just like that other system, but you don't need a net cup. So that's the benefit of this system. With that system, you got to cut a hole in the bottom of the pot that goes down into the water. Well, this, you just use the fabric pot and it just sits inside of this pool here. And then as you fill the whole pool up, every pot in here will just suck the water up. So that's handy. So this is my first pool I built. It's about 6x4, and this is what I had a whole bunch of crap in here, and it just died because it's the end of the season. Doesn't look that great, but anyway, I got this pink lemonade blueberry right there. It tastes wonderful. This was a San Marzano. This is another early girl tomato. And these are all my strawberries here. And what you got going on with all these vines down here and stuff, it's I'm creating more strawberries by taking the runners and sticking them into individual pots, and then they shoot the roots down into the individual pot, and then you can just cut this off and you got a whole new strawberry plant. Look at that. You just break that off. Oh yeah, now we got a new strawberry plant. Look at that. So next year this whole thing's gonna be strawberries. All right. Let's go to the next pool. Alright, so this is my second rain gutter grow system pool. What we call it, we'll just call it a pool. So this is another pond built out of 2x4s, and then I put this trellis over it so I could not have to use tomato cages. And then these are some watermelons. So basically this is my tomato and watermelon pool right here. Same thing, you just fill the pond up every week or so with water. All the plants suck up the water they need, and then you're good for that week. So pretty simple. We're getting some great watermelons. I mean, these are tiny, but they taste better than ice cream. I just picked these 3 here watermelons. We're gonna try to juggle them. It's gonna be tough. Oh, man. Here's a little trick I learned about watermelons and chickens. I'm gonna get my shovel. Here's my shovel. I'm gonna get back here. Alright, so this is my final pool I built. Last year I just had a standard garden bed here, and I tried watering it, but it just dried out and everything died. So I replaced it with this bad boy. It's like a 10 by 6 pool, and it's got a pond liner in the whole thing, and I just filled it up with all these pots. We got all these plants in here, and I literally have to water this like 5 minutes a week. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, you could even hook this up to a valve, but it's so easy just turning the hose on and, you know, letting it fill up with water every, you know, few days with 5, you know. So right here we got some sweet mint. It's a great plant for cocktails. What we have here is a purple tree collar. Planted it from seed, got it off eBay. This thing is so nutritious, it's not even funny. What we got here is a whole thing of carrots. Now, planted like 50 packs of seeds in here, so the carrots are a little small. It's kind of like, yeah, it's embarrassing. This isn't the kind of carrot you get at the store. They taste 5 times better. I feel like a bunny. So this is my standard kale. Very healthy. This is an artichoke I actually dug up off the side of the road. It was just in a random spot. A little baby planted it in this thing, and wow, look at it. It is taking off. Might just get some artichokes next year. This is a raspberry. It's probably gonna take a couple years to actually get some raspberries, but I can wait. Well, anyway, this is my corn. We just picked it and ate it, and all that's left is the shell of a reminiscent corn plant. It was so tasty that I don't even want to take these plants down, because when I see them, I think about how tasty that corn was. What we have here are some eggplants. We got 2 different species in the same pot. We got a black one and a purple one. I haven't been eating these because, you know, just to be honest, eggplants kind of taste like crap. I thought they'd be better, because they look really good, but they taste like shit. Bought 50 at once, planted them. I've been freezing bell peppers all summer long and eating these bad boy bananas. They're spicy. These are my favorite plants in the whole garden. The purple tree collard. They're very nutritious, very high in calcium, potassium, all that stuff that builds strong muscles. And also, chickens absolutely love them. Check out these chickens. So, my chickens are always begging me for these plants right here. I mean, literally. Every time I pick these plants, they come up to the fence and they just whine. I mean, they will just eat these things for days. I mean, I have fed them thousands of leaves this summer. So when you feed your chickens good organic things like organic tree collards high in calcium, which is what an eggshell is made out of, the eggs taste fabulous. I don't even have to feed these things regular chicken feed. I don't buy them feed. They're basically free chickens, free eggs, and a cheap guy like me likes free eggs. All this crap over here you see, it's just wild. This is from last year. Some tomato seeds got in the ground or in my compost, and they just came up like weeds, and I don't even know how to maintain these things. I mean, they're popping up like a jungle in here. We got tomatoes up the wazoo. I mean, I try to eat them. I eat about 50 of these tomatoes a day, and I cannot keep up with them. I mean, you just keep eating them, and they keep coming up. I mean, they just never end. I mean, I don't know how many more I can keep eating. I might die if I eat any more. Alright, that's good. So this is my greenhouse I built. I used pallet wood, so it was free recycled wood, and some recycled windows off of Craigslist. This crazy guy that had a glass business, he just had so many windows that, I mean, he had about 1 million windows. So he's like, you just take all you want, man. So I took all these windows, slapped the wood on there, slapped the roof on, and now I got myself a free greenhouse, and it's gonna last for about 500 years. Let's go in there and check out what's growing. So I just thought I'd show you, this is my decoration for the greenhouse. My grandpa built this with his own 2 hands. I think he's got 2 hands. Anyway, it's a wind thing. We don't get much wind inside the greenhouse, but I still like it. So it's kind of messy in here. This is more the experimental zone. I got some extra tomatoes. I put them in these tiny little pots to see how big a tomato I could grow in a really small pot. And I mean, look at that. That's a 1-gallon pot. We got a giant tomato here. Pure heaven. Now, this is the smallest tomato variety in the world. I mean, look how small these tomatoes are. They look like huckleberries. They're so damn small. And they taste like, well, they taste like tomatoes, because all tomatoes taste like tomatoes. Pretty good. I don't know if I'll grow these next year because they're so damn small that it takes more energy to pick them and eat them than you even get off the plant. So this is my little discount bell pepper forest. These are all red bell peppers I got, and they're all in their own little miniature rain gutter grow system. What I do is I just fill up each one of these containers about 1 gallon of water. You know, every few days. The hotter it is, the more often you gotta water this stuff. But you just fill it up with the hose, just dump it in there real quick. And I mean, I've picked hundreds of bell peppers. It's ridiculous. This is some random stuff I grew. We got some cabbage. I picked a lot of chard off this bad boy right here. Really good stuff in an omelet. The only problem I have is the aphids. They come and eat my kale, my cabbage, and they eat my tree collards, these guys. And then I get these cabbage worms. They're these little white butterflies. I just saw one in here, and they land these little cocoons on there, and the little caterpillar eats holes in the leaves. You can see where the caterpillar's been getting on there. It's just a big pain in my ass. So next year I'm going to put nets over all my plants that are getting attacked by those caterpillars, and it'll be much easier. See, there's a white butterfly. Here it is. And what he's doing is he comes in here, film that, he lands on the leaves, and he lays a little egg underneath them. And basically, the egg turns into a little caterpillar, and I swear, those caterpillars turn into like that big, and they'll eat a whole plant in 5 minutes. So I built this composter this year out of a 55-gallon barrel drum, and I put it on the support so I can spin it. And what that does is it allows the oxygen to get into the soil, and it speeds up the composting process. So I stick all my dead leaves from all the plants that die in there, and I put a bunch of coffee grounds in there from a local coffee shop. That, you lock it down, and then you give it some spins. This thing is freaking heavy, man. It out. It's almost compost. It's turning black and nice. It's a little too moist. I need to put some more carbon in there. Actually, it kind of stinks. That's pretty nasty. Let's move on. So this is where my hose comes in from the front yard. It's like 100 feet away. I got this filter. It takes out all the fluoride, the chloride in the water that kills all the beneficial microbes inside your soil, and then it comes into this T-valve that goes to each one of my pools. So we got 1, 2, 3 pools, And if I want to turn the pool on to water it, I just go like this. You just flip the little valve, you flip it, and now it's filling up with water as we speak. Come back in 5 minutes. I just turned her off, and she's good to go for probably, I don't know, 3 days to a week. So that's pretty damn easy. It's about 100 degrees out here today, maybe 120. Been really dehydrated. I literally have had a headache since last Tuesday. It's about time I rehydrate. 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 So I ordered these red wigglers off Amazon. Basically what happens is you put all your food scraps in there, just like you would a regular composter, and these worms just basically eat everything and turn it into this black gold. I mean, this stuff is full of all the best nutrients. Look at that. They are just munching away. They're just munching away on all this stuff. You got newspaper, you got some apples. They love old apples. Alright, I'm tired of talking about worms. They're pretty boring actually. And most people don't even like looking at worms, so let's just put this away. These are my 4 chickens. I got these off Craigslist from some crazy guy. He's like, I got way too many chickens. Somebody come and buy these chickens. So I was like, okay, fine. I'll buy 4 chickens. That's all I can fit in my little backyard here. So I got 4 Rhode Island Reds. They literally lay 4 eggs a day. I mean, 1 each. And that's all about a man can eat. Sometimes I get so many eggs in my freezer and my fridge, that I have to give them away to my neighbors or egg my neighbor's house when he's not home. I mean, it's hard to keep up. Now I built this here chicken coop out of recycled pallet wood. So this whole thing was basically free. This old recycled window I got off the side of the road. And need to clean the coop, I just open up this thing. I got some perches in there. I got out birch wood and myrtle wood off the Oregon coast. There's a couple nesting boxes in there, they just share them. And basically they jump up there and they go in there and you can see some eggs in there. Forgot to collect the eggs, so we got about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 eggs. It's only been about 3 days, so that means that 4 chickens hatched. 1 chicken didn't lay 1 egg one day. I have to calculate this stuff in case of an emergency because you always got to keep track of, you know, what your chickens are up to, because sometimes coons get in there and possums get in there and they'll eat them, and you got to know when they're getting in there and stealing the eggs, because that's just not good. I mean, they steal the eggs, you're pretty much up you know what creek. These are my second round of chickens I have, these 4 Rhode Island Reds. The first 3 chickens I got last year, I freaking messed up, man. I didn't put these bricks around the bottom here. These little bricks, I literally moved a few bricks, and something, I'm pretty sure it was a skunk because I could smell it and I saw it. It dug a tunnel underneath here, and I come out the next day, I look in there, all 3 of my chickens had no head. I mean, the skunk literally bit off their head clean, left the bodies, and I looked on the internet, I looked around and I found out what skunks do is they bite their head off and then they suck the blood out of their neck like a soup. It's like a fine delicacy to skunks. And I ain't messing with you, man. I mean, this is some sci-fi stuff. It's kind of like that movie Alien. I had to pay the crematory to have them cremated. I had to spread their ashes out here, and so now I make sure there's always a barrier on the outside. Nothing can dig underneath there. And as long as there's a barrier, and I put wood down here instead of what you call it, chicken wire, because I read that coons can chew through the chicken wire, and you don't want that because you know what they'll do. They'll just tear your chickens apart. So for Christmas, my girlfriend said, "What do you want?" And I said, "An automatic chicken door," because I got tired of waking up at 6 and letting the chickens out. So I got this timer set up to an automatic chicken door. Now I'm gonna put this in here. That's to keep the rain out of my timer. Now come over here, check out this motor. This motor opens up this door, and I'll show you how it works. You just flip the timer, and when the time comes that you set it at, guess what happens? It automatically opens up the door, and here comes my girl. I think she's gonna come out. Come on out. There's a chicken in there, I swear. Oh yeah. Every morning, this opens up at about 6:30 when the sun come up, and when the sun go down, the chickens are already in there. This thing goes down, locks them up safe, and no more skunks biting their heads off and eating their blood. I mean, I can't have that anymore. Now, better set this for the right time or it won't shut when it should. And then, you know what will happen? Vampire skunk, I'm gonna come and eat it. So, I just picked all these maters here and some bell peppers, all organic heirloom tomatoes and bell peppers. And what I've been doing is I actually just wash these off. I take the top off and then I put them into freezer bags and I freeze them in the freezer. And I'm basically gonna have maters until like next year because I've been freezing so damn many of them. So I'll show you here. Take a look at my freezer. I mean, I got no more room in here. So I'm gonna have like 50 bags of these maters by the time I'm done, and bell peppers. And so what I need to do is fire up my my upright freezer soon and fill that guy up. And I mean, the food just never ends. As long as we can freeze it. I got a picture of me on the freezer right here. It always puts a smile on my face when I see it, every day. This is Blind John. Wait, let me open it. This isn't the kind of carrot you get at the store.
Rehydrate.